So, those of you who saw the last video where I attempted to fix a Game Boy DMG, you'll just have to go watch that video if you haven't seen it. I mean, what are you doing? Anyway, that video, I ordered this box. Came with a Game Boy DMG and what I'm going to be working on today, which I suppose we'll just have to open up to find out. Always use your gardening tools for opening boxes. It's you know, it's in the rule book somewhere. It's basically canon at this point. Oopsie. Alright. Dun dun dun. The astute among you probably already realize what this is. However, if you don't, I'm going to trick you. Because item number 3, oh yeah, PS2 Slim. A very, very dirty PS2 Slim, might I add. Well, there's supposed to be, looks like there's supposed to be a screw there and a screw there, so that is probably not good. It means somebody has probably already been in here and determined it wasn't worth fixing, but we'll try it anyway. If I can get it to focus, focus, focus. Come on now. There you go. Still not focused, but it's a SCPH75001 NTSC model. Yep, there's a missing screw there too. Alright, so that's what I'm going to work on today. Try to figure out what's going on there. If I remember in the listing, if I remember correctly, it said that won't read disk, boots up but won't read disks, something like that. And last but not least, if you don't throw boxes, the gods don't let you fix the consoles. I learned that once. It's an Xbox 360 Slim. See, the faceplate's gone, but I'm sure I can pick up one of those pretty easy. And this thing is absolutely filthy. On the back here, see, it's got your SPDIF. I don't know how many versions of the 360 Slim they made, but sometimes this is what will allow you to differentiate between them. So HDMI, AV, 1, 2, 3, 4 USB. Oh no, 3 USB and whatever that guy is. And Ethernet. This is model, I don't know if you can read that or not. Doesn't look like it. It's model 1439. Xbox 360S 1439. And this, oh, can you see down in there? Oh my god. Anyway, it doesn't come with a hard drive. Not too worried about that. I can pick one up. And this side plate is missing as well, so hopefully I can pick up one of those. But looks like this part's cracked where they tried to pry this side off, or did pry this side off. Sorry, I bumped you guys. So I've never even played on the Xbox 360 Slim, but I have taken apart and repaired a couple Xbox 360s before, so hopefully it's not too much different. Those things are both disgusting, so excuse me. I'm gonna go get a rag, some alcohol. I'll be right back. Right, so I'm back. Got some gloves because ew. How many of you have seen that video? Ew. And a microfiber cloth here. And some 91. There we go, 91% isopropyl alcohol for the outside, 99% isopropyl alcohol for the inside. I'm not really sure what I'm going to find, so I just figured I might as well get some. Probably take the case apart and just wash it with soap and water, like I did with the Game Boy case. Got my iFixit kit here, and the other half of that case I use as screw storage. You can actually still see the screws from the Xbox 360 controller I'm working on. Alright, so before we do any of the cleaning, we're just going to plug it in and see what happens. Alright, so you can see that we have the PS2 down here and a brand new power brick and power cable. So again, gardening shears for the win. This is a Power Plus cable. I've heard good things about this brand, so figured I'd try it out. I don't remember the price, but I'll leave it linked in the description below. I think it was like $8 or something. And I'll leave this as well. Hell, I'll leave the gardening shears if you like. You just let me know. I mean, these should basically come with every console. They're used so frequently in tech. Oh, look at that. It came with one. Well, put this one aside. The AV, oh, it looks like it's already open. The AV multi-out, I'm just going to use for my PS1 or my PlayStation 1. It's not the little guy, it's the fat model. Sony brand, PS2 right on it. And if you're looking for one, it's 8.5 volts. On the back, you can see 8.5 volts, and it's the SCPH-70100. The inputs, obviously 100 to 240 volts at about 1.5 amps, 50 to 60 hertz, and the output is 8.5 volts at about 5.65 amps. So, just in case you're looking for one, that's what you want to look for. that's that. Might as well use the one it came with. Okay. So we have power light. So that's a good sign. Grab the AV cable from my PS1. Or my original PlayStation, if you prefer. Oh boy, I don't know if it's gonna reach. Okay, yeah, perfect. I believe these are interchangeable. Yeah, fits perfectly. And I don't remember what input that is. So, let's see. Oh yeah, there's only one on my TV, I forgot. And I believe I have my 64 plugged into that, so might have to switch that out right quick. Yeah, that's the 64. Yep, perfect. Okay. So we got you plugged in there. Just gonna push the power button. See what happens. Get back. Oh. Boots right up. That's a good sign. Okay, so let's open the disk drive. Okay, there's no disk in there. The laser assembly did move back when I opened it, so that's good. And of course, I only bring you guys top quality content. So we're gonna play the best game released out of the, 900 something games for the PS2. Best game in the multiverse. Finding Nemo. All right, so you'll see there's no shenanigans going on here. Down in there. It is indeed Finding Nemo. Send me back out. Turn me back up here. It's thinking. It's doing something. You know, a controller would be useful, so I'm gonna go get one of those. Alright, so I got a controller. I don't actually know if it's gonna work because it's a PlayStation controller, original PlayStation. But we're gonna find out together. Okay, it physically fits. Hey, look at that. So you can see, original PlayStation controller. It is one with the analog sticks. Alright, let's play around a little bit. 927.19, well that's a good sign. Man, I haven't played a PlayStation 2 in so long. I don't even know what any of this does. Screen size. 16 by 9 full or 4 by 3? Let's go 16 by 9 for now. Digital out on. Yeah, we'll leave that on. I do have it hooked up to a sub. Well, I have my TV hooked up to a sub rather. Component video, that doesn't matter for now. Doesn't matter for now. English, okay, good. Options, 12-hour, date, time. Well, I'm not in the Pacific. Whoa. Where is that? I don't know, but that's pretty neat. Pretty neat name. Maybe Russia or somewhere over there. Western Uzbekistan. Pretty sure that's what that said. Holy moly. They have this thing set up for anywhere, huh? It's pretty neat. I don't know why I chose this way. It's definitely going to take me longer to get to where I am. But, you know. What the hey? Here we go. All right, well that seems to be everything. Okay. So if I remember correctly, it should just start playing the disc if it read it properly. So I'm gonna go down here, open her back up, take the disc out. Okay, the laser. Bring you guys back down here. The laser assembly does move. Okay, so we'll close it. Open it back up. Can you see the laser assembly? Can you see that? It's all the way in the back now, whereas before it was up front. So it does move. I mean, this whole thing is pretty dirty. So I'm wondering if that's all it is. Just needs to be cleaned. You see all that dirt? So I'm gonna go get a cotton bud, and I'm just gonna clean laser assembly with some alcohol. So I'm gonna shut it off. Unplug everything. I'll go get a cotton bud, and I will return momentarily. So I couldn't find any cotton buds, but I found a cotton round. Work all the same. Just gonna manually slide that up. And I have the 99% alcohol. Just get a little bit on here. I'm just going to go in here, clean that little guy. Nice and gently. All right. Set that aside for now. 99% alcohol, so it shouldn't take too long to dry. Just gonna get a drink real quick, and then it should be fine. All right. So we'll try again. Put the disc back in, close her up, plug everything back in. Still in frame? Nope. Too much. There you go. Alright, so she's closed back up. And turn it back on. Tilt you guys up. You hear she started. Let's see what happens. Still nothing. So like I said, if I remember correctly, it's supposed to just boot into the game. I didn't see any place where you would select a game. Browser, I think that's like disk could not be read. There is no data. Okay, disk could not be read. Open it up. Okay, the laser is back towards the spindle. You can see that the game, it's got some fingerprints. It's not the cleanest game in the world. But this is also what it was sold as, is disk would not read, or discs would not read. So I'm just gonna rub some alcohol onto this. Game here. Try and get those fingerprints off. Okay. So you can see now it's a streaky as all get out, but probably get that off. I don't think that's the problem anyway. I think it's the console. Just cleaning off that lens again. But it's looking like I'm gonna have to open her up. And that's how you learn anyway. So, just so you can see, it's still streaky, but those fingerprints are gone. And like I said, I don't think that's the problem anyway. I'm gonna toss it back in. see what happens. So it says reading disk on screen. Reading disk. Sorry about that, guys. My dog saw a cat outside. Wasn't too happy about it. Alright, so again, you can see disk could not be read. So, just gonna take it apart. So, you can see we got it back up on the bench here, aka my coffee table. So when using a screwdriver and all that, it's just a lot easier to not wear gloves. That's why I took them off. Get these little pads out. Actually, because those screws are missing, I wonder if this just comes... if there's any spot that just comes apart. Oh, shit. That probably didn't help anything. Doesn't feel like it just comes apart. Man, this thing is filthy though. Alright. One of these little guys. Come on. How are you supposed to get this out? There we go. This is just a well, whatever this bit is. It's like a circle with a line through it, and then the number's 1, 0. Just gonna use that to try and... oh yeah, it works. Works great to pull those feet up. And there's nothing under that one. I wonder if there's nothing under... because this one here looks like plastic. Aha, that one's plastic. And there's a screw there. I've never taken one of these apart, so I'm not really sure where they are. I've actually never owned a PS2 Slim. I owned a PS2 Fat back in the day. And it's probably the console I played the most of. Just a fantastic game library. I don't actually know what happened to it, to be perfectly honest with you. What is this? PH1? Let's try that. So it appears that there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. And as proprietary as Sony likes to be, the screws are simply just Phillips. Or cross or standard. Whatever you choose. It's the memory cards and the remotes and power supplies and all that kind of stuff, where they start to get all proprietary on you. Man, these things are in there quite tight. Which is probably a good thing. So that was number, oops. excuse me, number 4. This one's number 5. Alright, let's see if anything feels any different. Like I said, I've never taken one of these apart, so I don't... Like, I've watched other YouTubers do it, but it's been a little bit. I don't remember how it comes apart. It looks like here there's a gap. It's starting to gap here. Can you see that? Right there? And that allows this part to come... There we go. So you can see that part's opening up. Feels like there's still something keeping it together somewhere. Maybe another screw. Okay, that's coming up pretty good there. Probably going to be itching up a storm after this because I'm allergic to dust mites. So it actually feels like it's right around here somewhere where there's some restriction. Don't know what that would be. I don't know if maybe there are some tabs. Feels like maybe there's a tab right about here. I don't see any though. There could be a sticker under this label. I mean a screw under this label. Oh, you know what? There's a screw right there. Yeah, I can feel a hole right there. Or a dent. I don't own a heat gun, and I just don't feel like getting my wife's hair dryer to try and preserve this sticker. I'm not too worried about it. So I don't want to shred it if I can avoid it, but I'm also not a big fan of labels to begin with, so I won't be devastated. Yep, there we go. Won't be devastated if I can't use it again. Alright, and that was this little guy that I used. So anytime you're taking stuff apart, you know, just try to pay attention to how it feels. See if, you know, if you have to fight it, there's probably another screw or a little tab in my experience. Those plastic tabs can snap really easy. I've snapped them on the Xbox 360 shells before. If you've ever taken anything apart, I'm sure you've snapped one yourself. Alright, so now that that's gone, yep, this part feels like it's just lifting right up. Okay, now Sony and a lot of other companies like to use ribbon cables. So again, just be careful. Look for any sort of... Alright, there's no ribbon cables there. See, there's a tiny one right here. See that? I don't know about that one in particular, but I have seen a lot of ribbon cables for different things for sale. So if you do happen to break one, there's another couple ribbon cables there. You may be able to get a replacement, but it's better to just try to avoid that altogether. There's the battery. You can see it's just your CR2032-PS2 Maxwell battery, and it plugs right in there, so it's not as simple as just unplugging it like you would in a lot of other systems. That fan, if you're looking to replace the fan, you can kind of pause it there. It's model BM4010-09W-B77, and it's 8.5 volts DC, 0.55 amps, or A. I guess I'm not sure if it's amps. Big aluminum heatsink, so that's nice. Looking in here, I mean, I'm not really having power issues, so I wouldn't expect to see a bunch of corrosion or anything. Everything looks okay inside, so that's a good sign. I may even be able to pick up those screws online somewhere that are missing. But the problem here seems to be the laser assembly. So you can see in there, I cleaned the laser, and it actually looks pretty okay. And it moves without anything coming undone or anything like that. So I wonder if maybe you can see that ribbon cable comes out the back. Let me bring it out again. So it comes out the back of the laser right there, and it folds over, folds down under here, goes around under this drive, the screw, and then plugs right in there. So it could be as simple as just not being seated properly, but I wonder if it weren't seated properly, I'd imagine it wouldn't work at all, right? It wouldn't slide. That's sort of my thought process, but what do I know? They look okay. I mean, I don't see any tears or anything like that in the cables. Wonder if I have any compressed air. I'm gonna go try and find some compressed air. Try to blow that out. I'll be right back. All right, so I took it outside. Excuse me, blew a bunch of the dust out. I don't think that's good enough to fix the problem, but I figure it's a good start. Now you can see there's a lot of dust back in this little pocket back there. I wonder if I could just easily unplug the laser. Still some dust in there. That seems to be a hair. Let me get some tweezers. I wonder if I could just easily unplug and reseat that cable. Maybe there's something funky going on there. Should be pretty easy to do. It's a very low risk procedure. So in here there just seems to be a hair. Yeah. Now the cable that actually goes to the side that actually goes to the laser assembly looks like it'd be a little more tricky to unplug. So what I'm going to do is try to unplug this one here. And it should be just as simple as lifting this little black piece. I believe they're called bales. Just applying a little bit of pressure. Yep, just like that. And it pops. Yep. Oh, it was this one. Pops right out, just like that. So I don't see any immediate issues. Everything looks okay. So that's simply all I'm going to do is just plug it right back in. Pop it right back in. Push it down. There we go. Felt a little bit of a click. I'm just going to push the bale back down. Just kind of moving the tweezers along and compressing it as I go. All right, seems to be okay. And if you look from this angle here, you can see in the back there, just want to make sure that, point it out to you, back in here, you just want to make sure that you have sort of even spacing. It's not in there all cattywampus. It looks okay to me. So I think I'm just going to plug her back in and see if we get anything. Now, I don't remember if there is a button. Actually, I think it might be here. I think this might be a little button because I can compress it pretty easily. I think that might be a little switch that lets the the drive know that it's closed. But I don't feel like putting it back together, so I'm just going to go plug it back in, start it up. I'll put the disc in after I've started it up so we can see what happens with the laser, and we'll go from there. So I'm just going to plug her in real quick. Down nice and gently like. Plug in the controller. You should be able to see that we have a red light. I'll adjust you a little bit. Yeah. You can see we have the red light there. Okay. Zoom you in a little bit so you can see if anything changes with the laser and just how it moves and everything. Let me grab the remote, turn on the TV. All right, TV's on. Power button's on. Okay, she boots right up. Nothing happened with the laser. Okay, so we'll go right back. Pop a disc in. It doesn't seem to care at this point about the top not being on. pop that disc right in there. And grab the tweezers. Okay. So again, that that little switch in the back, I think is what tells it that it's closed. So I'm just going to push that. Go into the browser. Okay, so it says there's no data and nothing's spinning. Buttons feel weird. Still no data. Definitely compressing it. Maybe that's not the lever that tells it that it's closed. Could be wrong. In fact, I probably am wrong. But I thought that's what that was. It doesn't seem to care either way. So let's see if I hold that. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn it back on. Hear the fan start up, console started. Nothing's happening with that laser. Let's go into the browser. Nothing, no data. I'm gonna go do a little bit of research. I'll be back. All right, so I got you zoomed in real close here because after doing some research, I watched a couple videos. One of them was the guy's channel was Freebee Productions, something like that. I'll link it in the description below. And I just covered this up with the case because I have cats. So I'm gonna plug it back in. So I was right about the switch back here, about the switch in the back here. That does need to be compressed, but there's also another one right here in the front, right basically behind the power LED. Yeah, and it functions the same way. That one I can actually get to pretty easy with my finger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it back on. You can see nothing happens. The laser assembly doesn't move. The disc doesn't spin. and then I can't do that and raise the camera. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to raise you guys back up. Alright, so not only do I cohabitate with felines, but my dog just threw up too, so I'm back. Alright, so I was saying that there are those two little latches that need to be compressed for the disk drive to, or the laser to know that the disk drive is closed. So you guys are looking at the screen. Finding Nemo is in the system, and I'm just going to compress both of those switches and we'll see what happens. So there's one, there's two, okay. The laser assembly moved. Nothing. So it just moved from about the spindle area to the back, as far back as it can go, and that's it. So I'm going to try again. If I just decompress the front one, nothing happens. If I just decompress the back one, or compress the back one rather, nothing happens. Oh. Okay, the laser assembly moved back to the front. It's moved a couple times. Oh, there we go. Now the disc started spinning. So it spun a little bit and it stopped spinning. I wonder if I go into the browser. Okay, no data. I have nothing pressed. Press them both at the same time. It says reading disk. The disk is spinning. The laser is moving, and the disk stops spinning. Here we go. I don't think I had it compressed properly. So reading disk, the laser moved, disk spun, nothing. Okay, it's going to try again. Reading disk. It's trying, it just spun up pretty quick. So it's tried several times, but you can see it's to no avail. So I'm going to assume the fact that it's moving at all means that I didn't break anything when I unplugged it and plugged it back in. But it was worth a shot because you never know. Nothing. Try this last time. If this doesn't work, try to figure something else out. Still says reading disk, but the disk stops spinning. This could not be read. All right. I'm gonna shut it down. Shut it down. I'm gonna put the case back on it just so none of the zoo jumps on. And I'm gonna go do a little bit of research. Come back if I figure something else out. So after some more research, I saw somebody clean a different part of that sensor assembly. So I'll show you that. Try it out. So the spot that they cleaned is actually down in here. So I'm going to slide this back. Unplug the controller. Okay. So the part that they cleaned is back down in there. Where are those tweezers? So back in here, one there, and then there's one there. So the guy said it worked for him, so I'm going to try it out. Again, just using the 99% alcohol and a cotton swab. Sorry if I bumped you guys. Just gonna rub down in this area. Cotton swab, you can see I got it all. Make sure you don't leave any cotton behind. I'm just going to let that dry for a few minutes. And I could just take it all apart, give the whole board a once over, but I don't think anything else is the problem. I think it's just somewhere with the laser assembly. Because it's powering, right? It's moving front and back, forwards and backwards. The disc will spin, but it won't read it. Unfortunately, the only game I have to test is my wife's copy of Finding Nemo. So I think I gave all my PS2 games to my sister. Back in the day, I was kind of going all digital. I didn't want to carry a bunch of stuff around, so I gave like all my DVDs and CDs and all that to my sister, except for probably like 20 CDs and 10 DVD/Blu-rays. That was about it. So yeah, now I don't regret giving it to her, but I miss having them. So just got to build that collection back up. All right, so it looks dry in there. So I'm just going to try that. Plug that back in. Plug the controller in. Power. Okay. Pop the disc right on there. Turn the TV back. Oops. Turn you guys back to the TV. Alright, so we're on composite slash AV. So we're going to power her on. And remember, I don't have those buttons compressed. So I'm going to compress them now. Start with that one, and then that one. So the laser moved, the disc started spinning. Still spinning. Spinning relatively slow though. And it stopped. So, just to be consistent and clear, I'm going to go back into the browser, compress that back switch, compress the front switch. So you can see it reads the discs, and then it stops. And the laser assembly is moving back and forth. I don't know if that's normal or not. Same thing, no data. So that didn't seem to help, did it? Just trying again. Nothing. I've seen some people do a solder mod where they basically pull off the back switch that needs to be compressed and just apply either a wire or a big blob of solder to that back joint, so it always thinks that it's closed once you push that top button, which I guess is compressed a lot easier by the top case than the back one is. But I don't know if this is even my problem, because I'm compressing both of them and it's still not reading. Alright everyone, well, this is going to be the end of this particular video. As you can see, I'm testing the PS2 Slim, and if you want to know whether it works or not, or what happens next, you'll just have to stay tuned. So thanks everyone for coming along, and I invite you guys to come back here and help me make, modify, and motivate in the future right here on Makes and Mods. Thanks again.